This is the sixth studio album overall by Queen. No, not sixth. This is their, correct me on that one, or I'm gonna do it myself. Cheers start. This is the third studio album by Queen, Sheer Heart Attack, and this is in a way their breakthrough record because they had just released their first two records, which I have reviewed, so if you're curious then check those reviews out. They are in the Queen playlist if you're curious, and this is their, like I said, third studio album, and this is for a way their breakthrough record because a lot of people were really positive about this record. They didn't. It wasn't critical acclaimed, I believe, but it was really well received. It was a really consistent album. Just like their predecessors, it is under the 40-minute mark at 39 minutes. 39 minutes and 9 seconds. So this is a relatively short album, and this also came out in the same year as Queen 2. And I think both are some of the best Queen records of all time. Queen 2 and Sheer Heart Attack, I think they're great. And this would of course lead up to the greatest Queen record considered by many, Night at the Opera, which I have also reviewed, so if you're curious then check it out. But yeah, talking about this album, it is a pretty consistent album, like I said. I really love the classic rock vibe I get out of this record. You basically get that out of every Queen record, but with this album it is really, like I said, more consistent, and most of the songs are really memorable, which was a bit of a problem at Queen 2. I still love that record, but you know, not every song was really memorable. But Sheer Heart Attack is almost the opposite. Almost every song is really memorable and just a great Queen classic. So we start off this entire record with Brighton Rock, and I really love the song. I really love the centerpiece guitar solo at the beginning. I really love that. And this, by the way, requested by Black Queen, I believe. Really fitting with Queen, you know. I'm not sure if he requested it. He requested some Queen records, I believe, but I can be wrong about that. But if he didn't request it, I cannot name anyone else. So there we are. But like I said, Brighton Rock is a classic song. It starts the album off perfectly, and yeah, it is actually my favorite song of the record, the opening song. I just really love the rawness of the song, the classic feel I get out of this track. It is really tremendous. Yeah, and just the solo by Brian May is arguably his best of all time. I just love the solo he plays on this track, and yeah. I mean, he got some great later solos in his career, but Brighton Rock is the peak for me, man. Just one of his best, if not the best of all time. Then we got the second track, which is Killer Queen. This is a classic track by the band. Of course, that main verse, she's a killer queen, and just that line, it is so iconic. It is a Queen classic. Just everyone knows the song. This is one of the first songs that puts Queen on the map because it is so iconic. Not as iconic as a later song on one of their later records, but still, it was one of the first songs that got them really mainstream and paved the way for the legendary Queen that we all know and love today. Yeah, then we got Flick of the Wrist, which is also a bit similar to Killer Queen. It is a bit poppier in the sense. Also very catchy, and it has also some great guitar riffs. Not as great as on Brighton Rock, but you cannot beat that in my opinion. Still a good song. Lily of the Valley is also a pretty catchy song. It is only 1 minute and 43 seconds long, but it still delivers. I still think this is a pretty good song. Although you don't get a lot out of it, I think Mercury's vocals here are really sweet and really enjoyable, although it is a short song. Now I'm Here is a great way to close at side 1, and I think side 1 is basically perfect. I really love how great and consistent side 1 really is. Now I'm Here is just really catchy. It combines a bit of Lily of the Valley and Killer Queen together. as one of the catchiest songs of the entire record, with some really iconic classic rock moments from Brighton Rock. So then you should have Now I'm Here, I would say. Combine those songs. So yeah, I think this is just great. Now I'm Here is a great way to close at side 1. I really love the catchy hooks on here. Really love the drums by Roger Taylor. They're really well, not really complex, but they are catchy, and they make just all the Queen members work perfectly off of each other, and I think that is one thing I can really appreciate. Also written by May. He also wrote Brighton Rock. A great songwriter, great songwriter. In the Lap of God is the opener of side 2, which is a really epic song, talking about being in the lap of God, but I believe talking about the ups and downs, about having really godly people beside you. I believe Queen is talking about that. So yeah, the song has already a bit of a epic story to it. I mean, talking about the gods, being in the lap of God. So the song is really epic. Yeah, the drums are really pounding on here. The vocals by Mercury are really deep, really sinister, I would say. And yeah, this would lead up to the classic Stone Cold Crazy, which is considered one of the first signs of heavy metal. I would say heavy metal, but some other fucking bullshit site said that it was the sign of thrash metal, and yeah, that is bullshit. If you know what side I'm talking, well, it is 1 second of my channel, so you should know. But Stone Cold Crazy is still a Stone Cold classic, no pun intended, and I just love the driving force in this track. I really love the cymbals, the yeah, just the driving force. Like I said, the fast talking, the fast rapping by Freddie Mercury is just tremendous. He can do this more often because it is really epic to hear him speak so fast, almost rapping. So you can also call this the first rap song. I really don't give a shit, but Stone Cold Crazy is, like I said, just a classic. Really love the song, and it is also, no, it is not the shortest song of the record, but it's, yeah, it is arguably the most memorable one, the most popular one of the record. So I really love it. Then we got some unnecessary transitions which ruin the album a bit for me. Dear Friends and Misfire are a bit filler songs, written by May and Deacon. Yeah, Deacon writes in my opinion, the weakest songs. Misfire isn't really a song, it is only 2 minutes long. It has some nice bass grooves by Deacon, but you know, it doesn't really go anywhere, and when it finally starts to take off, it's, yeah, it just ends, so not really a lot to talk about there. Bring Back That Leroy Brown is really a throwback tune. Around the 50s, the 40s, I would say. This is a really old sounding song, and yeah, you get a bit of that saloon playing on there. I'm not sure what the term of that is, but I call it saloon playing because it sounds like that. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I love the throwback vibes to this song. It really feels like a Stone Cold classic. Yeah, it is a really enjoyable song. Although it is a bit, what is the word I'm looking for here? It is a bit out of place on this record. You know, all the songs sound really modern and classic at the same time, if that is understandable. But it sounds modern for the time in the 70s, but it sounds like a classic now. And this song sounds just a bit dated in my opinion. It still is good though, but it is a bit out of place. But that is maybe just me. Then we got She Makes Me Stormtrooper in Stilettos. I don't really get this song, and it is a bit slow. I still like the song, but the song is a bit it is a bit slow. It is a bit slow paced. Written by May and lead vocals by May. I still really like his vocals on this track, but you know, it is a bit too much. I think the song is a bit, it tries to be In the Lap of God's part 2, I think. And speaking of that song, we have In the Lap of God's Revisited. Yeah, this is basically a part 2 of In the Lap of God, and yeah, I didn't really ask for this. I think the revisited version is, you know, I don't think it is better than in the original In the Lap of God, but you know, it is there, it is the closure, and yeah, they revisited it because I think they didn't had any other songs in store, so they used a revisited version. I'm not complaining, but you know, it didn't really go anywhere and it didn't really improve upon the original, so there we are. Still a good song, but a bit unnecessary. Overall, I think this record is great. I really love it. I didn't praise it as much as I thought I would be, but I still think it is great. I think side 1 is flawless. I really love side 1. I really love the first 2 songs of side 2, In the Lab of the Gods and Stone Cold Crazy. I think are great. I think Dear Friends, Misfire, Bring Back That Real Leroy Brown, and the last 2 songs are not really for me. The last 5 songs are a bit, yeah, meh. But the first 8 I love those songs. Maybe with revisitations I can appreciate the album in its fullest form. But for now, I still would give the album a 9.1. I still really love the record, but you know, the ending was a bit odd. But you know, Brighton Rock, Killer Queen, Now I'm Here, Stone Cold Crazy are really great tracks. Some of the best Queen tracks on here. Some of the best Queen tracks are on this record, so check it out. It is one of Queen's best, I think. A 9.1. I really love this record. Let me know what you think about this record. I really loved it. What do you think about Share Heart Attack? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.